I said, turn on the TV and get me a book. I said, get me a deck of cards. I said, get me a can of paint. I said, turn on the TV and let me listen and see the codes they're giving me. And I ain't got enough paper, so I'll just add it to the wall. Here's another piece. On this design over here, there's supposed to be a zero. This has something to do with the mantra. But if you take a good look, okay, look at this and look at that. It's the same thing. It's just distorted on a different side, but it's the same thing. See inside? See inside? Look at the postage stamps over here. Do you see what this is? Let's take a good look at what this is. What do you think this is? Okay, this is a postage stamp. I put one here and one here. I should put one here and one here. These would stand for the Twin Towers. This would stand for the Empire State Building. This over here is ham radio. Ham radio up here, ham radio down there. See them big buildings? But at the same time, it's actually could be the ass of the building coming up from underneath and going in here. Why is it? Because this is the elevators up, and this is the elevator up. In between, they meet. You see the two meet over here? You see the two meet over here? They meet here, and they meet here. And what happens is they come into this building or this building. Do you see what's in the center here? Well, it could have been this, it could have been this. Okay, inside of this, look, it's I and it's I. But over here, okay, look, it's H. You see the H in between? See the H here? I'm going to show you. See the H over here? See the H over here? But it's pushing up into I. That's the syringe. That'd be the Ebola. The same thing on the mantra picture over here. We have the needle for the Ebola that they be pumping up. Why they put it here? Because here's the candy wrapper. If you take a look at this design, it's the design of what the cards wear. You see the crown? See the way the crown comes on the angle over here? The same thing with that big old jack there. Look, see the angle of the jack? The jack fits right over here. You put two heads together. See one and one jack? These are the ends of the syringes. This is only part of the story. We need the whole story that surrounds the syringe. So if we're going to build a story, let's build the Empire Story Building. And then put them together with H and I pumping 72 inside of you, running your beta gamma life, which is giving you the opening. This shouldn't be like this. This should be two penises together locking, but it's not. These are your penises interlocking with this. You see where I'm going with this? At the same time, it's the same way they build the Chinese houses. Okay? Chinese houses. At the same time, 333 says Lovejoy, the energy. 5, 2, 6, 3, 1. 5, 1, 3. Ace. What is the ace? 2 and 6, the doghouse of B&O Rail. We're riding down the rails. B&O Rail. And it's right over here. Ebola, inside the syringe. How this world over here, 3 different levels, tick, 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 fits right into here. All I did is, see in this one, I separated it. In this one, it is together. This and this is supposed to come together in us, except they make an extra passage, slipping this inside this passage, and redirecting all our vibrations, everything else, so that our bodies and our harmonization is no longer picked up by a singularity world, but is picked up by 2 worlds. 1 world is added, and it's known as the Christ. Okay? The rose bush, the thorns, everything else like that. Things that pick. Things that are like a pick, or things that have a point or a needle, because that's what the heart and the spade have, and it shows it in your Steamline cards. It's all in games people play from ages spirituality 3 and up. That is where it is. You have to go to the bottom. You have to rise and create. And that is where the answer is. It's in you. Raphael 7286 on a constellation of Pegasus in the year 5775, in which every time you have 19, when you have 10, when you have 4, when you have 3 and 1, when you have 1 and 3, when you have 2 and 2, you have 6 ways to get 4. And every time you end up with that 4, you end up with that 10. Every time you end up with that 10, you end up with that 7. Time of Christ is the number it says. 4 by 7 is 28, the moon. Einstein in 1776 fit exactly into it. Exactly the same numbers. Thank you for this video.